Hello viewers, welcome to my channel IIT Olympiads and AP Physics with Ambarish. And today I have brought a very special problem for all of you. First of all, wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And I've adapted this problem from 200 Puzzling Problems by Peter Nardin. And this is a very nice problem. Many times students find this to be very counterintuitive. And therefore I've chosen this to analyze this problem. Let's see the problem formally. I've changed the wording considering the Christmas theme today. So let me read out the problem formally. For a convincing Santa act in front of for a convincing Santa act in front of her skeptical son Sheldon, Mrs. Mary Cooper hired Mr. Bean, who was noted for his ability to climb up the corner formed by intersection of two vertical perpendicular walls of a chimney. So just imagine that we have a square section chimney, and Santa has to climb up the chimney or maybe climb down the chimney with his sack of gifts. And this is the best image I could find from the internet. By the way, this image is of a real boy. He is a boy from Kanpur and is also called Spider-Man of India. So this is very much real, and I also posted this image in my community tab. So this is definitely a real image. Okay. So we want that that the Santa should be able to climb against the wall by resting his two hands and feet, by pushing the walls with his hands and feet. Okay. So Mrs. Mary Cooper hired Mr. Bean, who was noted for his ability to climb up the corner formed by the intersection of two vertical perpendicular walls of a chimney. Find the minimum force with which she had to push on the walls whilst climbing. Also, what is the minimum coefficient of static friction required for him to be able to perform such a feat? Given mass of Mr. Bean is m and the coefficient of friction is mu naught. Okay. So I hope the statement of the problem is clear. If you want, you can draw the FBD and try out this problem on your own. I'll get into the analysis immediately. So I've taken these figures from the book itself. So let's say the key to the problem lies in the correct free body diagram. See, let's say this ellipsoid that I've drawn, let's say this represents our Mr. Bean, and I'm not distinguishing between the forces from hands and legs. I'm just drawing the two forces together. Let's say the combined normal reaction from his hands and feet on right wall is, let us say, N. So the wall gives him a reaction N from this reaction is combined reaction on hands and walls on the right wall. Okay. Similarly, let's say this is the normal reaction from the left wall. Now see, this normal reaction and this normal reaction, they have an outward component into the room. Okay. Or you can say into the volume of the chimney, and the horizontal component of these normal reactions must be balanced. So sometimes students think that friction should be acting vertical to balance mg, but that's not true. If the friction were to act vertically, then there will be nothing to balance the horizontal component of these two normal reactions. The horizontal resultant of these normal reaction will go unbalanced, and that can be balanced only if the friction is acting inclined. So so Santa cannot push the walls there has to be an inclined component of pushing, right? The friction cannot be vertical friction cannot balance. So if friction has a component in this direction, then its horizontal component has the horizontal component of this friction and horizontal component of this friction, they can balance the horizontal resultant of these two normal reactions, and then equilibrium can be established. So that's the idea. Okay. And the same thing, same free body diagram I've drawn in the top view. In the top view, mg is of course acting into the page, and this frictional force, so the angle of this with the vertical is theta. So its vertical component is fr cos theta, and horizontal component then becomes fr sin theta. So ffr sin theta here and ffr sin theta here balances this normal and this normal in top view, and mg then is into the page. Now this problem is not very difficult. We just need to write the equations correctly and solve them, and it's a straightforward thing now. So let's see how to complete this. So here theta is the angle of frictional forces with vertical, and horizontal component of friction is required to balance the outward resultant of the normal reaction. So that I explained earlier. Now vertical force balance, what does it give you? So vertical force balance, this mg is to be balanced by this fr cos theta and this fr cos theta, right? So FFR, so mg is 2 FFR cos theta. Okay, and now horizontal resultant, this n root 2. So this n cos 45, n cos 45, n cos 45 becomes n root 2, right? So this n root 2 must be balanced by this FFR sin theta, FFR sin theta. So FFR sin theta root 2. So that's what I've written. N root 2 is equal to FR sin theta root 2. Okay, FFR sin theta root 2, as clear from the top view. Okay. Now if you consider equations 1 and 2, we have two unknowns and two equations. What are the unknowns? Frictional force and the normal reaction are the two unknowns, and we have two equations, so we can easily solve. And if you solve this equation 1 and 2, you get normal reaction as mg by 2 tan theta and frictional force as mg by 2 cos theta. Fair enough. Now see, whatever is the reaction that boy receives from the wall, whatever is the contact force offered by the wall to the boy, so by Newton's third law, it should be the same amount of force that boy must be applying, or Santa must be applying on the chimney walls, right? So now I need to take the resultant of this normal and this frictional force, and you can see these two are perpendicular. So don't get confused by the, actually this is supposed to be 3D figure. So this n and this f actually have a 90 degree. So this has got a 90 degree. So what's the resultant? That is n square and plus fr square under root by Pythagoras theorem, right? So total pushing force is n square plus frictional force squared on one of the walls. This is the pushing force on one of the walls, right? And this you just substitute mg by 2 tan theta for n and mg by 2 cos theta for fr and simplify. So this is the force that you need to push provided friction is at an angle theta. Okay, and this you can of course simplify, and you can take under root and simplify. See, things are going to become easier. So sin square theta upon cos square theta will give you 1 tan square theta, right? And then 1 upon cos square theta will become sec square theta, which will give you 1 plus tan square theta. So that will give you 2 tan square theta, right? So tan square theta and 1. So it becomes 1 plus 2 tan square theta. Okay, so this is the required force if the friction is to be at an angle theta. Okay. Now we also have a limitation on frictional force. We know that it cannot exceed the limiting friction. So for the case of minimum applied force, we should consider the limiting equilibrium, that is friction, that the Santa is at the verge of slipping. Okay, so condition for limiting friction is frictional force is less than mu naught n. So we found the frictional force, we found the normal reaction here. This is the normal reaction, is the frictional force, and this should be less than this, I mean mu naught times this. So just substituted that in inequality. So mg by 2 cos theta is less than or equal to mu naught mg by 2 tan theta. So this is sin theta upon cos theta goes with cos theta, and this inequality simplifies to sin theta is greater than 1 by mu naught. Okay, and sin theta is of course an increasing function, and so is tan theta. So if sin theta is greater than 1 by mu naught, you can find a condition on tan theta. So in that case, you know that this is perpendicular to hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square minus perpendicular square gives you the base. So base is root of mu naught square minus 1, and this is perpendicular as it is. So tan theta must be greater than 1 upon under root of mu naught square minus 1. Okay. Now in the limiting case, I can just put tan theta equal to this. In the limiting case, when exactly the Santa is at the verge of slipping, so you just substitute this and you can find the value of f minimum. So if you put this 1 by mu naught square minus 1 in this, so f is greater than or equal to mg by 2 into root of mu naught square plus 1 upon mu naught square minus 1. And therefore, what's the minimum value? So minimum value is when this greater than sign is dropped, and just we take the equality. So this is the minimum force that we need to apply. Okay, so this is one of our answers. And another part was finding the minimum possible value of coefficient of friction. See what happens to the minimum force. Suppose we keep on decreasing the value of mu naught. So if mu naught is decreasing, you see denominator is decreasing, right? And as mu naught is approaching 1, let us say you start from 2 and start decreasing it, and you go all the way near 1, maybe 1.000001 or something like that, then you know that this will be, the denominator will become very, very small inside the under root, and this will become a very large force. And in fact, at mu naught equal to 1, you can see that this force will go to infinity, right? So that means what? Coefficient of friction must be greater than 1, definitely. And if it's very near to 1, then it's nearly impossible. So you should have a very large coefficient of friction. And that's why I've seen another video I had seen somewhere where the person was rubbing lime on his hand. I mean, the in Hindi we call it chuna kind of a thing, like for increasing the friction. And then he was climbing up the temple walls like that, something like that I'd seen. Okay, so so minimum possible value of mu from this we can infer is that it should be 1, or ideally it should be much greater than 1, as large as possible, the more the merrier. Okay, and and the limiting case when the body so what I've written, this corresponds to the limiting case when the body is at the verge of slipping. For this to have a real solution, mu naught should be greater than 1. Of course, if mu naught becomes less than 1, then it's not even possible to even after using the entire friction, it's not possible to maintain the balance. Okay, so that was my analysis of this problem. Hope you enjoyed the analysis, and if you did enjoy the analysis, please do give a thumbs up to my video. Please share and subscribe to my channel. Share this in whatever media you use for networking with the fellow students, maybe WhatsApp groups, Telegram, Discord servers, or whatever it is. And if I almost daily keep checking my subscribers, and that's what keeps me motivated. So please help me grow this channel by subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and as always, God bless you all.